How are we doing, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin, and I have got a long overdue video to do, and we're finally getting it done now. This is what I'm going to refer to as a pipe clearer, because this is a video that has been blocking the pipes for ages. I've been meaning to do it. There's loads of videos I've wanted to do, and no, this one's got to come first. Everything kept coming. Holidays and this and overtime at work, and new music started coming out. So I've got new Ozzy Osbourne album, which I'm going to try and do tomorrow night. New Megadeth, all the other new stuff that I've been doing recently, and this just kept getting pushed back. And I'm glad to finally do it. And I've even had a viewer request it. So back for one more. This is dedicated to you, my friend. Thank you for your patience, and let's get on with it. So tonight we're going to be talking about Disincarnate, not Discarnate, who I always have to... Hold on, let's get one with an actual name on the front cover. Not the British band, Discarnate. This is the American band, Disincarnate, and I always have to double check when I refer to either band, because I always get the name muddled up. But this is the... is it a classic? Let's get into it. So, yeah, Dreams of a Carrion Kind. No, let's not fuck about. This is pretty much regarded, I think, you'll be hard pushed to find a better, what we refer to in the metal scene as a one and done album. This is, one and done. Does what it says on the tin. Really got some cool studio photos in the intro there. The CD's in the stereo, because I've only just finished listening to it one more time as a bit of a recap. A one and done. They did one album and that was your lot. I don't know. Every so often James Murphy pops up on a podcast and says he's working on new stuff, but it never materialises. And, I think I'd rather have one awesome album than be disappointed. But then again, I'm pretty confident in him. I don't think he'd do it for the sake of doing it. So if another one did come along, I've jinxed it now. They'll probably be announced next week that there's a new album. So, and who am I kidding? Of course I'll buy it. So, right, I'm kind of assuming that you know it all, but for the newly initiated, let's go through it. So, James Murphy is a whiz kid on the guitar. He's getting a bit more known throughout the scene. He does a tour with Agent Steel, and then he joins Death for spiritual healing. Him and Chuck clash over stuff that doesn't really matter anymore. Even James Murphy says he never holds a grudge to him. He puts it down to two guys being in their 20s and both kind of wanted to be the dominant one in the band, and Chuck was the one whose band it was, so he left after one album. So he jumps ship to Obituary and does Calls of Death, another masterpiece. And then he jumps ship again. No, he doesn't. This one's a bit odd. I don't know. I was under the understanding that he just did this as a studio session thing. But I'm sure he did live gigs with the band. So I don't know if he actually joined them or not. But yeah, British band, Cancer. They went out to America to record at Morris Sound. And Jim Murphy came in and laid a load of solos down. And I'll let you settle that one in the comments whether he actually joined them or not. In fact, let's have a quick look. Let's see if he actually did join them. James Murphy. I've just got by the sounds of it, he was actually in the band. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yep. Shut up, Joe. What do you know? Right. So he was in Cancer anyway for 5 minutes. So I thought he then went on to join Testament, and then eventually he got this. But no, I was wrong. So doing the timeline, shortly after leaving Cancer, roughly a year later, he forms Disincarnate and puts out the first demo, which has been... You can pay a fortune for the demo on cassette, and some record label recently reissued the cassette. Again, it was a limited edition, and I thought about getting it, but I couldn't really bother to pay the postage. So you got Tobias Pike on bass, James Murphy on guitar, and Brian Keegan on vocals, and on guest drums on that demo is the legendary Alex Marquez, Solstice, Malevolent Creation, so on and so forth. And then let's go get our timeline in order. So that was in 1992, and then following up the next year we got the full-length album Dreams of the Carrion Kind. Let's quickly go through the lineup. Brian Keegan back on vocals, Jason Carman on second guitar. James Murphy actually did the bass, so you got Jason and James doing the guitars between them, and then James handled the bass, and Tommy Vieita on drums. Let's have a look at guests. Aaron Stainthorpe did some vocals on track 5, and Pete Coleman did some keyboards here and there. Oh, John Walker from, I'm pretty sure he's from Cancer. Yes, he is. Did some vocals as well on, I've lost it now, on track 3, which is Beyond the Flesh. So that's the lineup. Right, one thing I think this album doesn't get much credit for. I'll go for this edition as well. I mean, this is an edition with the Soul Erosion demo included. I think it'd be pretty hard pushed to find an edition that doesn't have that on it now. Unless you want to fork out a small fortune for a first print, but why would you want to do that? But this has got liner notes from Don Kay, Joel from Killswitch Engage, James Murphy, the man himself, and Monty Connor. I'm taking it this has been like a reissue, like a remastered version. Like I say, you get the don't go forking out a fortune for a cassette of the demo. Don't go forking out a fortune for the original thing. Just get this. This is a reissue with the demo included. Listenable Records, I think, did a digipack edition as well. I don't know if it did, but I assume it would. Like I say, it's harder to get an edition without it. The demo tracks, pretty much all 3 songs were re-recorded for the album, I believe. Paradise Burning, Soul Erosion. Yeah, all three of the songs in the demo were re-recorded anyway. But it's worth listening to because it's kind of slightly rawer production, and it's obviously always great to hear Alex Marquez on drums. So let's get into it. This is going to be a short review, really, because I'm just going to end up repeating myself over and over again, and that gets a bit boring. But not that these songs are repetitive, but that they pretty much nail a formula, and it's a formula that they just keep hitting, and it works. So most notably, you've got the album is bookended. So you've got an introduction track, the Deep Profundis, it's just like an intro. But the closer, Immemorial Dream, is quite a nice slow doomy number that's backed up with some pretty cool atmospheric keys, and also got a bit of acoustic guitar playing a melody over the top. So that sort of keyboards underneath, acoustic over the top, nice slow doomy number, nice atmospheric way to bring the album to a slow close. But yeah, opening up with the first proper track is Stench of Paradise Burning, which is sets the tone for the rest of the album, really. Really good technical, shreddy sort of riffs, good technical, slightly odd timing, time signatures throughout the songs, but not in like an atheist kind of way, like none of that. It's not over wanky, and everything is perfectly balanced and perfectly paced, so when everything's nice and fast and nice and technical, they'll go into a nice groove to split things up. They'll go into a nice doomy part to slow, it slows down, it speeds up, it goes to a groove, it throws bits here. There's nice, the 90s guitar squeal like, at the end of riffs is in there that Gojira ended up making a career out of. And one thing I think that's notable, that's what I was meant to say earlier, you get a free package here. So this is a Roadrunner album produced by Colin Richardson and artwork by Dave McKean. So Roadrunner Records, well, in the 90s, released on Roadrunner. Dean McKean, is that his name? I forget his name already. For fuck's sake. Yeah, Dave McKean, sorry. Right, start that again. Released in the 90s, released on Roadrunner Records. Dave McKean doing the artwork, Colin Richardson producing. The amount of albums that you had that winning formula might not necessarily have always been on Roadrunner Records, but yeah, in the 90s, Dave McKean artwork, Colin Richardson production, Napalm Death, Machine Head, Dearly Beheaded. The list goes on and on and on. Machine Head, I think, they kind of took the formula here and kind of made it a bit more easier to digest. Wasn't quite full on death metal. Yeah, I think as defining as Burn My Eyes was in the 90s, I think Disincarnate sort of missed a trick there. They were kind of slightly earlier in the curve in terms of, because not only did it have this artwork, it had that particular sound, and it had that kind of dark industrial atmosphere to it as well. It was very urban feeling, and a lot of stuff was in the 90s, I feel. Yeah, so like I say, good technical riffs, good pummeling drums, pummeling riffage, good shredding, lots of harmonies and melodies in there though, but the melodies never quite take away from the intensity of the music or the heaviness or the darkness of it as well. It always packs a punch, and if anything, the melody just adds an edge of sinister. Like it makes it that much darker, that much more sinister, rather than interjecting and taking something away from the intensity of it. You know, it's not nice. That's what I'm saying. There's not like clean melodic parts or clean vocals or no. It's all added in, and all it does is just makes the songs more recognisable and just more listenable. And that's pretty much how every song is. It's a bit of a. I can't go through every song going, oh, there's a fast riff, this bit, and a bit, and that bit. There's all sort of kind of haunting harmonies and haunting melodies that kind of stick in your head the more you listen to it. And the album just flows perfectly. It is a fantastic album to listen to from start to finish. And yeah, it just the sequence of the songs, each one leads into the next, lovely. So a more faster one is followed by like they've all got fast bits, but one might start with like a slightly doomier, slightly slower introduction and would build up, but they're all perfectly sequenced in, so it all goes and it makes one nice listen all the way through. I think it goes without saying as well that the masterpiece really is Monarch of the Sleeping Marches. That's got one of the best choruses in death metal. Monarch of the Sleeping Marches. When that in the chorus, it's so fucking catchy, it's instantly recognisable, and then you've got that lead over the top of that just that woo lead over the top. I always used to think that was keyboards at the back. It wasn't until listening to it over and over again for this thing that so is it keyboard? Because there is keyboards in the album here and there, and but no, it isn't. That's just weird leads. And that's pretty much all I can really say. Really, every song is awesome. But every song is a perfect balance of tempos, technicality, groove, catchiness, melody, harmony, awesome solos from James Murphy and Jason. They pretty much. Oh no, it looks like all the leads were done by James Murphy. It says here Jason Carrion is just does guitars, like rhythm. So, but it hasn't aged a day. It sounds just as good now. It's a timeless album. It's often brought up in top death metal lists. It's certainly the top of one and done lists. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame really that they only ever did one album. What's funny as well is that, to my knowledge, none of the other musicians went on to do anything of note. I mean, if you look on Metal Archives, I think the singer went on and did another band, but I've never heard of him, to be honest. Let's quickly go through it. Brian Keegan, yeah, he's in Mutilation Ritual now. Don't know who they are. Jason Carman, yeah, only did Disincarnate. I've already done it again. And Thomas on drums, yeah, as far as I know, that's all he did as well. Oh, he was in Acid Bath. That's pretty cool. Oh, he was on Pagan Terrorism Tactics. That's a fucking awesome album, right? I stand corrected. Yeah, a few other bands here I've not heard. But so if that was in 1996, what was this? Oh, this was 93. All right, so the drummer went on to be in Acid Bath afterwards and did the second album, so that's cool. But yeah, after this, James went on to join Testament, and he did Low. Who did that artwork? And who produced it? Oh no, right, fair enough. Garth produced it, but alright, I was halfway there. Yeah, and did a live album with them as well. He left them for a little bit. Well, Testament split up for a little bit, didn't they? A lot of people don't realise that Demonic was actually meant to be. The reason that album sounds so strange in the catalogue is because it wasn't meant to be a Testament album. But I'll do that when I do eventually get around to doing a Testament. Let's talk about. I'll tell you all about that then. And then, of course, he went on to play on the masterpiece, The Gathering. And also, James Murphy did 2 fantastic solo albums. As typical guitarist solo albums, there's a lot of instrumentals on there and there's a lot of wiggly. But, you know what guitarists are like. What you normally get, though, is Devon Townsend and Chuck Billy doing vocals on certain songs here and there. I think there's a bit more. Oh, Steve DiGiorgio plays bass on one of them. Yeah, but obviously on this you've got Touching the Earth, which is a beautiful masterpiece with Chuck Billy on vocals, like acoustic sort of ballady song that gets really heavy during the chorus. This album is worth the price for that song alone, and I don't know who. If Testament released that song, if they used that on a Testament album, that would be a mainstay in the Testament set list to this day. That would be their Hallowed Be Thy Name. Why Testament never offered to buy it off James, or if they did offer it to him, why he decided to keep it and it would be a hit on its own, but it obviously wasn't. They should have offered to buy it off him, and if they did offer to buy it, he should have sold it to him. That's what I reckon. So, yeah, brief overview there of James Murphy. Where did Disincarnate CD? So, yeah, awesome bands. Is it one of the best death metal albums ever? Yeah, fair enough. Wouldn't put it in the top 10, maybe in the top 50. For me, I think it's a good 8 out of 10. It's I don't know if it's one of my favourite death metal albums, but it's definitely one I enjoy. I don't listen to it often, but I always enjoy it when I do, so that's probably why it's not outstayed its welcome, really. It's always like an old friend that I like to visit now and then. It's definitely a good album to listen to this time of year when it's fucking dark and raining all the time, especially if you're living in the city. It's got that dark urban feel to it that a lot of 90s metal had. And, yeah, and like I say, worth the admittance alone for Monarch of the Sleeping Marches. And check it out as well. I had a little look on YouTube. There's a lot of live material. Some pretty well filmed live material as well. Some full shows. And they were fucking awesome live as well. If anything, after watching the live stuff, I liked the album better. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe they will do another album one day. I hope they do, but I wouldn't hold your breath. So, right. New Aussie album next. And then my next retrospective stroke, let's talk about, also James Murphy related, Doth. This is a criminally underrated band who have just reformed and are currently recording a new album as we speak. So I want to hurry up and get that. But yeah, I want to hurry up and get this done before that comes out. And James Murphy produced this album. That's one thing I've got to say. James also went on to be a shit hot producer. So yeah, the guy's got a good career, good catalogue of albums under his belt. I mean, look at this. Look. These 4 alone are enough to eat out on. 2 awesome solo albums under his belt, and the talented fucker was even in Testament for a little while, and was on the Underrated album, was on one of their best albums, and on a pretty cool live album as well. So yeah, James Murphy deserves a lot of respect. Do you want to know what he produced? Let's go through what he produced. Fuck it. Come on, I might as well give you the full. I've made you wait long enough, so let's go through James Murphy's production CV. Let's go for it. So, I'm not going to go through the how many people he's guested on doing guitar and that, because I'll be here all day otherwise. So let's have a look. So, And Oceans, he's done A Lower Deep. Disincarnate. Abigail Williams, he's done 2 of their albums. He's done an aborted EP, Coronary Reconstruction. Agent Still, their 2021 album. No Other Gods Before Me. Alstorm did 1 of their albums. Angels of Babylon. Attention, he's done 3 of theirs. Ashes, he's done an EP by them. Augury, Avulsed, Black Storm, Blessed Agony. This is a lot of mastering as well. So, Omen of Disease, he mastered by Broken Hope. Circle to Circle, he's even worked with them. Duff the Hinderers. Hold on a minute. Yeah, that is the first one, yeah. Hinderers. Dawn of Oblivion. Decapitator. Dirge Within. Demolition Fraction. Drawn and Quartered. He done 1 of their albums, mastered that. He seems to be doing a lot more mastering than producing, but fucking hell, there's loads. Empty, Engaged, and Mutilated, Informant, Exhumed, Full Contact, George Bellis, Hanker. I'm starting to wish I never started this. Havoc, he's done 2 albums and an EP with them. Impaled, Infernian, that's Brian Warner's band, you know, the mouthy one from Vital Remains. He's funny though. Jungle Rock, Kill on Command, Conqueror. I went all American there, don't know what happened. Oh, he was guitarist in there as well, wasn't he? If I got that right. Lazarus AD, 3 of their albums. Merciless Terror. Oh, November's Doom. We're nearly there. I don't know if I heard of half of these now. It's getting a bit. But yeah, Psy, fucking hell. He's done mastering for them. 4 of their albums. He produced Demonic, although he didn't play on it. Did he play on it? No, that was they were a 4-piece on that, but he did produce it. So there you go. So yeah, you get the gist by now. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. There's lots of stuff coming up, and yeah, Disincarnate. If I can find the CD, what have I done with it? Nope. Oh, there it is. Disincarnate. Dreams of a Carrion Kind. A hidden gem. There you go. Underrated gem in the death metal canon. And yeah, it's essential. You need it. If you haven't got it in your collection, you definitely need it. And yeah, I dare say you'll... when you're in the mood for something classic, but you're kind of sick of listening to your usual go-tos, it's a good one to dig out. Let's put it that way. And yeah, definitely worth getting. And if you've got it, dig it out and give it a go again. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.